Jerry Rice and Janice Ruhter had finally found their dream home in their dream neighborhood. Unfortunately, this happy moment was followed by a series of mysteriously horrifying and terrible events. The mystery all started when a strange handwritten letter appeared on their doorstep. What followed were threats, strange occurrences, a police investigation, and eventually, an arrest. So, what exactly happened to Jerry and Janice? Well, let's find out. In 2011, the couple purchased their dream home in an upscale part of San Diego, California. At the time, they had a young child and Janice was pregnant. They had chosen the area due to a reputation of being safe, clean, and friendly. They would quickly find out that not everyone was so friendly. Soon after getting settled in, Janice opened the front door and found a bizarre handwritten letter on the porch. The letter was addressed, "Dear New Owner," and made an offer to purchase the home for $100,000 above the price that the couple had paid for it. Of course, the couple had no intention of selling the dream home they had just moved into. However, after the odd and life-threatening events that followed, they might have wished they had. The first strange occurrence was when the couple's home was listed for sale on the real estate website Zillow. Janice stated that one day she received a call from Jerry asking if she listed their home on Zillow. Of course, she had not. But neither one of them could understand why someone would put their house on the market. The next odd circumstance involved the couple receiving things in the mail that they hadn't ordered. This included random magazines and adult diapers, and often they also came with the bills and invoices requesting payment. At this point, the couple was starting to think that maybe someone was playing a prank on them. But this story would quickly unravel into much more than just a prank. After a few more days, the couple received an email alert that would change everything. The email was an advertisement to a New Year's Eve party in their home. Of course, the couple wasn't planning a party. By now, it had become apparent that Jerry and Janice were being targeted by some sort of attacker. The couple had only recently moved into the neighborhood, and they never had problems with anyone. So, they couldn't see the reason for any hostility. Unfortunately, the next strange act would involve the local neighbors and community. One day, one of the neighbors came storming to the couple's house and was furiously shouting at Jerry. Confused, Jerry asked his neighbor what was going on. The response was that the neighbor's wife had received a Valentine's Day card from Jerry. Of course, Jerry never sent the card. In fact, he didn't even know the woman's name. But then the same thing happened with several other couples who lived nearby. Jerry then had to explain the situation to all the couples involved and apologized for the confusion. With the situation continuing to get worse, the couple was now scared. At this point, local authorities were involved and had told Jerry that whoever was doing this to them was likely very sick or mentally unstable. Following police advice, the couple installed cameras around their property. This led to Jerry spending much of his free time frantically checking through the footage, hoping to find a trace of the culprit. As an added safety measure, Janice and Jerry also installed security spikes around the property's perimeter fencing. The couple soon found their dream home looking more like a prison. The two also began taking self-defense classes, and the couple even had planned escape routes, in the case of an emergency. The stress and weight of the entire situation had begun to weigh on the young couple, who were in constant fear for their family. Jerry became laser-focused on trying to protect his family, and he suffered from insomnia, staying up all through the night. Just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any worse, it would end up going to an even darker place. One day, the couple came across an online advertisement which included Janice's face, phone number, address, and the headline, Carmel Valley Adult Entertainment. It went on to read, "Come see me during the day while my husband is at work and we can get our freak on." The worst parts of the correspondence stated, quote, "I love to be surprised and have a man just show up at my door and force his way in the door and on me, totally taking me while I say no." The situation had now gone from a potential prank to potential sexual assault. Soon enough, men started showing up at the couple's new home looking for Janice. One man actually knocked on the door, and thankfully Jerry was there to answer. The man told Jerry he was at the wrong address and immediately left. After all this time, there was still almost no concrete evidence, clues, or hope of finding the harasser. The couple was starting to lose hope. Then, one day, they remembered the strange handwritten letter they had received on their front porch. And at this point, the story gets even more weird. The couple dug up the letter and found that it was signed by a woman named Kathy Rowe, and she had left her email address. Somehow, Through all the stress of moving into a new home, caring for a newborn, and their safety being threatened, the couple had forgotten about this letter. Janice searched for Kathy Rowe on Facebook and immediately recognized the woman, as she had previously come to their house on Halloween while trick-or-treating. The couple quickly reported this new information to the police. The police began digging, and the information quickly started to paint Kathy Rowe as a suspect. Detectives noticed that Kathy had made some strange purchases and odd social media posts. But the smoking gun was that Jerry and Janice had outbid Kathy Rowe for the house. And it appeared that she wasn't happy about it. Kathy Rowe was a 53-year-old woman. She was the mother of a disabled daughter and the wife of a man who had recently suffered a massive heart attack. For years, Kathy Rowe had been looking for a one-story home that would suit the needs of their disabled daughter. So, it turned out that the dream home found by Jerry and Janice was also the dream home of Kathy Rowe. As the evidence piled up, it didn't take long to form a case against Kathy Rowe. After all, she left a handwritten note on the couple's doorstep with her name and email address. Eventually, she would admit to being the person who was harassing and threatening Janice and Jerry. Kathy Rowe stated that when she walked into the home, she felt like it was her house. And when she lost out on the property, she was devastated. She felt like Jerry and Janice had hurt her and she wanted to hurt them back. In an interesting twist, Kathy Rowe had recently been named one of San Diego's 50 best moms for being the sole caregiver for her disabled daughter. In the end, Kathy Rowe was remorseful and apologetic for her behavior towards Janice and Jerry. She explained to the judge that she was humiliated by her own behavior and that she would never behave like this again. Ultimately, Kathy Rowe was sentenced to 1 year of home electronic surveillance and 5 years probation. But the more serious charges were dropped, and she received no jail time. Janice and Jerry would go on with their lives, but it would take a lot of time and counseling. Kathy Rowe continues to live only a couple miles away from Jerry and Janice. The justice system had been relatively lenient on Kathy Rowe, and Jerry has said that they will never be fully at ease. Jerry has said, quote, "Kathy is dangerous. There is no question she was out to physically assault someone in my family." So, what do you think about the curious case of Jerry, Janice, and Kathy Rowe? Do you feel like Kathy Rowe's punishment was too lenient? If you were Janice and Jerry, could you ever truly feel completely safe? Let us know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate a quick click on that subscribe button. That way, you can stay up to date when we release our next video about one of the most interesting things in the world. In the meantime, stay safe out there, and keep exploring.